Good morning, Taraba. Good morning, Nigeria. This is your darling TV station, beaming a signal from Northeast Nigeria, Jalingo, Taraba State. This is the morning show, your favorite television program that brings you in-depth analysis of issues at the trend and as they appear on the cover pages of the Nigerian newspaper. My name this morning is Ira Daniel Kukui. I am your anchor for this edition of the morning show. It's a brand new day filled with possibilities, purpose, and positivity. Whether you are just waking up in Jalingo, getting ready to do your farm work in Bali, or brewing the first cup of tea or coffee, or whatever it is that is your brand for this morning in Takum, Okari, Zing, Karim Lamido, or wherever you find yourself, or wherever you are within or outside Nigeria, you are welcome to this edition of the morning show. We're going to start with issues that are on the cover pages of the newspaper, and we're going to start with this day newspaper. First on the list this morning is Governor Oti to convert new government house built by former Governor Okpeazu to five-star hotel. You can find this story on the cover page of this day newspaper. Another one that is on the cover page of this day newspaper is Afrexim Bank reports. It said, you said suspension depends Nigeria's fiscal challenges. Just like I said earlier, this is found on the cover page of the This Day newspaper. Going on, still with the This Day newspaper, we have JAMB release results withhold 39,834 results. That is quite huge. 39,000 over 39,000 results was withheld after JAMB released the 2025 UTME results examinations. Moving forward, this day still has one story to talk about. At first Mass, Pope Leo XIV says church must bring light to world's dark nights. That's talking about the Mass, the inaugural Mass, or let me say the first Mass officiated by His Holiness Pope Leo XIV after being elected as the Pope. Another story that is on the cover page of this day talks about PDP woes Wozin as 3 KB senators defect, weakening rescue mission. PDP seems to be having lots of crises, and the worst, or the latest, let me say the latest, not the worst actually, is that 3 senators from KB defect again. Recently, they experienced some defection from Delta, and today report has it that 3 senators from Kebbi State have defected to APC. The defecting lawmakers meet Tinubu and Ganduje. Say we have internal mechanisms for smooth integration of defectors. That is a statement attributed to APC. It's a political calms within opposition party plots control of the National Working Committee. Now we're going to, let me take a look at the details of the story about Oti to convert new government house built by Okpeazu to 5-star hotel. The story has it that the Abia State government has announced plans to convert the government house built by Okezi Okpeazu's administration that is located in Ogurube layouts, Umuahia, into a 5-star hotel, citing its uninhabitable condition. This was revealed by the Commissioner for Information, Oke Kano, during a tour of the facility. He described the building as lacking the basic features required for use as government house, and said it was unsafe for occupation. He disclosed that Governor Alex Oti-led administration has initiated plans to construct a new befitting government house on the sites of the former official residence. The story also has it that the Commissioner for the explained that the structure was far from complete. He explained only the first floor appears to have been finished. The rest of the building remains incomplete. A lot of areas are not been plastered, and the elevator has never been installed. The whole place looks unsafe. If anyone missteps in certain parts, they will fall through to their deaths. Well, if this report is anything to go by, it is uninhabitable, and there is no need for them to continue to jeopardize the life of the chief executive and his family, because normally the government house is where the government, the sitting governor stays and administer the functions of the state. If it is not safe, then there is no need for them to continue to aspire to go there. But there's something about the story that caught my attention, and I think it is worthy of analysis, considering the fact that they are now not abandoning it. They are thinking of a way of putting it to good use. You know, there are instances where you will see government projects being abandoned like that for years without any consideration. I think Ikpeazu is one of the recent governors in that state, and if he has initiated a project and after his administration, the subsequent government is thinking that there is a need for them to put it to a good use, like converting it to an international hotel, then it is worth it. And we wish them the best. As it stands here, we only can wish them the best. Now, we'll go to the next newspaper and take a look at the stories that are on the cover page of The Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper has this headline at the top left corner that said, FG forges ahead with Naira for Goods policy implementation. Dangote said, we are not in competition with NNPCL. We are not in competition with NNPCL. That is, I think, is a good news, considering that they are in the same business, and normally there's these unhealthy competitions that exist about people that are in the same kind of business. For a stakeholder like Dangote to come out and say they are not in competition with the NNPCL is a good thing. That gives Nigerians hope that the issues that are related to oil sector has been administered by Dangote Refinery or Dangote Group, and the NNPCL is not going to put Nigerians at a disadvantage because of unhealthy competition. Still on the cover page of the Nation newspaper, we still have the story of JAMB. JAMB releases 2025 UTME result and withhold 39,834 over malpractice. We mentioned that earlier as it appeared on the cover page of this day. The major story on the cover page of the Nation said, more trouble as fresh wave of defection hits PDP. I think we've mentioned that too on this day. The details here on the Nation has it that the KB senators meet with Tinubu to join APC next week. Jigawa minority leader, hundreds of supporters dump the party. Still talking about defection in Jigawa State. President hosts Sokoto KB governors and stakeholders. The Sokoto and KB governors are actually members of APC. I think this one is not about defection, but I think the meeting with the KB governor will have to do with the senators that defected recently. I don't know, I'm just speculating. And still on the cover page of this day, it has Ganduje said APC has mechanism for smooth integration of defectors. That is a good one. If it is true, then let's see how it goes. Somewhere this morning, I saw it on another platform where Ganduje was talking about how Nigeria will not degenerate. I use the word degenerate here. He said the issues that people speculating that Nigeria will become a one-party state, considering the wave of defection from other political parties to the ruling APC, is unfounded. But he said something that caught my attention. He said, if it is the position, if it is what Nigerians want, if these people are defecting to APC without coercion because he disagreed with the fact that they are being coerced, that they are being manipulated, they are being forced to join APC. He said, if these people are joining APC willingly, the mass defection, the Tinubu tsunami, if out of the volition of Nigerians and other party members from other political parties, such as the PDP, Labour Party, and other parties that are defecting, then it is good for Nigerians because he'd consider it as some sort of democratic endeavor for people to have the rights to do what they want. So if at the end of the day, if every Nigerian decides to join APC and Nigeria become a one-party state, and the party is APC, then Ganduje asserts that there is nothing wrong with that. So it's too early for us to tell, and I disagree with him to a very large extent because one-party states is something that I don't think is possible for Nigerians to accept. Going to another headline that is on the cover page of the Nation newspaper, it talks about Pope Leo XIV always wanted to be a priest. That is a statement attributed to his brother. Still on the cover page of the Nation, we talk about Confucian Trails, gunmen attack on travelers in Imo. Suspected herdsmen kill 9 in Benue community. We'll move forward now to the next newspaper, which is the Blueprint. I'll take the roll call of the headlines that are on the cover page of the Blueprint. Then we'll take 1 or 2 of the stories there, discuss it, then we'll move further. On the Blueprint, it said federal government to repatriate 15,000 stranded Nigerians in Chad, Cameroon, and Benin. 15,000 Nigerians stranded in Chad, Cameroon, and Benin. Nigerians stranded in these countries, most likely it could be, some reports came out, I think yesterday or this morning, that mentioned how one of the causes, the causative factors for these people being stranded in these neighboring countries for Nigerians is one is Boko Haram, then the activities of the insurgency, the banditry, kidnapping, then natural disasters such as flood and other factors like that. And as it stands now, this report is talking about how 15,000 Nigerians that are stranded will be repatriated to their country, back to Nigeria, and I think immediately they arrive, measures will be taken on how to integrate them back to their communities, because some of these people have been away from their communities for maybe up to 10, 15 years. There are reports of people who have left their ancestral home as far back as 10 or 15 years ago. And when they come back now, they are completely strangers to those places. How they can be reintegrated is another thing. They'll have to come back, look for jobs, and try to see how they will survive and reintegrate back to their communities. Another story is saying despite tariff hikes, telecom and electricity consumers lament poor services. That is a story on the cover page of the Blueprint newspaper. Another story on the cover page of the Blueprint said police rescue 25 Ivorians from kidnappers and arrest 8 suspects. Police rescue 25 Ivorians from kidnappers and arrest 8 suspects. To find the details of this story, you go to page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper and take a look for you to see the details. Another story that is on the cover page of the Blueprint newspaper talks about Hajj Committee inspect pilgrims feeding facilities in Medina. Hajj Committee inspect pilgrims feeding facility in Medina. Yesterday, some TV news at 9 p.m. Featured a report that said yesterday was the inaugural flight for the 2025 pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. It was inaugurated yesterday. And another report featured how the vice president was in somewhere in the east to flag off the inaugural flight from the newly constructed airports. Now we take a look at the major story that is on the cover page of the blueprints. Let me see how it is rendered here. Telecom operators have since 2024 consistently called for tariffs increments, saying the sector was at the risk of collapse if tariffs were not increased, even as the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, had on many occasions declared that the federal government alone can no longer bear the burden of electricity subsidies, adding that it is not sustainable. Now, reactions: Nigerians who spoke with this reporter, that's the reporter of the Blueprint newspaper, expressed deep concern over the hike in the electricity and telecom tariffs without commensurate improvement in the quality of services rendered by providers. This morning, before I come to the studio, I overheard one or two people discussing the tariffs of electricity, mentioning how it seemed to be running too fast. I don't know how to, the words they used was, it was burning too fast. Somebody was explaining how he bought from Yola Electricity Distribution Company a tariff of, I think, 1,000 or 1,005, and it burned out in no time. He was asking whether these things are being done sincerely. Well, that is one of the challenges, and it's been captured in today's edition of the Blueprint newspaper. A cyber cafe operator in Abuja, Sunday Onwayanwu, said that this monthly electricity bill went up to 15,000 to 25,000 despite irregular power supply. Onwayanwu complained that the electricity supply in his area dropped sufficiently to as low as 5 hours daily. He said that because of the erratic state of power, business relied more on petrol-powered generator to remain afloat, causing him to spend a minimum of 20,000 daily on petrol to run the generator aside from the maintenance costs. That is the ordeal of some residents of Abuja who were interviewed, and the report is featured on the cover page of the Blueprint newspaper. If you want to see more of that detail, you take a look at the online, or you go to any newsstand and buy the Blueprint newspaper and take a look at the details of how the stories are unfolding as they are on the cover page of the Blueprint. Now we move further to the first news edition. That is for today, first news. On the first news newspaper, a report has it that JAMB released 2025 UTME results. Yahaya Bello court to rule on his case, that is rule June 26 on EFCC's bid to cross-examine witness. On Yahaya Bello's case, court to rule on June 26 on EFCC's bid to cross-examine witness. And another report that is on the cover page of First News has it that alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud, court adjourns Honeywell chair, ex-First Bank MD's trial till June 11. Court adjourns Honeywell chair, ex-First Bank MD's trial till June 11. And Tinubu Qatari envoy seal fresh investment talks on agriculture and petrochemicals. Tinubu and Qatari envoy seal fresh investment talks on agriculture and petrochemicals. Yesterday, President Tinubu received the ambassador of Qatar to Nigeria and his envoy at the State House, and the discussions they had has to do with the Qatari investments on agriculture and petrochemicals in Nigeria. We just pray as a nation that this comes through, and we hope that it is going to be one of the things that is going to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians as a nation. Another story that is on the cover page of the First News has it that we are not competing with NNPC, Dangote affirms. After 30 years, Ajidua faces cold wars again as Supreme Court revokes bail Apex Court overturned bail indicates old $1 million fraud case. EFCC clears hurdle to resume long stall prosecution. Still on the cover page of the First News newspaper, it has it that federal government moves to repatriate 15,000 stranded Nigerians from neighboring countries. Federal government not pursuing Simon Ekpa's extradition. That is a statement attributed to the AGF, Attorney General of the Federation. And we have this story still on the cover page of the First News. It talks about foreign headers behind recent killings, a statement attributed to the Defense Headquarters. Now we move further to the next newspaper. Okay, let me take the story that, the major story that is on the cover page of the Daily Independent. The Daily Independent has a story that talks about exposed story of slave camp called Ondo School for the Blind. Nigeria's education system faces numerous challenges, and the neglect of visually impaired students is a particularly stark example of systemic failure. Bolu Olu Esho writes on the situation of the visually impaired in Nigeria, using the School for the Blind in Owo, Ondo State, as a case study. The condition at this institution mark the neglect and mismanagement, reflect a broader pattern of inadequate support and resources for the visually impaired individuals across the country, hindering their access to quality education and opportunities for a fulfilling life. Those who are visually impaired are human beings too, and they deserve to be treated as human beings. If there is a challenge in schools that is designated to be their own school, they should have all the necessary facilities. Let me continue with the story as being carried on the paper of Saturday Independent. Nigeria, a country with enormous potential, falls short in its treatment of large segments of its population. The story has it that one of the most obvious falling is a lack of accessible infrastructure. Nigerian cities are notoriously difficult to navigate, even for sighted people, let alone the visually impaired. The lack of tactile pavement, audible traffic signal, and accessible public transportation make independent mobility nearly impossible. Buildings rarely have braille language or audible lifts announcements, so the visually impaired must rely heavily on assistance, which is not always readily available. This restricts their ability to fully participate in society, limiting their opportunities for employment, education, and social activities. Yeah, I think this is coming at the heels of the agitations by, I think, the present Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps. He mentioned how if you make a peer review comparison with other African countries where the handicapped are given some percentage of electoral positions, even at the parliament, so that they will be able to participate and contribute their quota to the national development. We can see an example of how the handicapped have a role to play in nation development, in how they have fared in sporting activities. The Paralympics is one of the success stories of Nigerian sporting segments, so sporting sector. If you see how they have fared and how they have recorded some successes in their activities in competitions within and outside Nigeria, and how that has contributed to the development of Nigeria as a nation, you can't help but agree with these reports that there is a need for them to be taken more seriously. At this point, we're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, Morning Show will continue with the analysis of newspapers, headlines, as they are appearing on the cover page of the Nigerian newspapers. Please stay tuned.
The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations, Honorable Shonzin James Bernard, on behalf of the ministry, wish to inform the general public that from now onward and as part of our ongoing commitment to maintaining a clean and sustainable environment, the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations frowns at the way citizens of the state don't keep their immediate environment clean, dump waste indiscriminately across the state like in the gutters, thereby blocking drainages and waterways, causing flooding. It is on this regard that I wish to communicate some significant changes and regulations that will take effect immediately. 1. Keep your immediate surrounding clean. Take responsibility of waste generated by you. Package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. Participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permit are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal dumping of waste by an individual shall henceforth attract a fine of 150,000 naira only. 6. Cleanliness starts from your home. Be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. If you can't clean up your surroundings, then don't make it dirty. 1. Who maintains cleanliness keep away diseases. Follow cleanliness to kill tomorrow diseases. Together, we can create a cleaner, greener and healthier Taraba. Announcer, Philibus Daniel Adamu, Permanent Secretary. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of...
I want to use this opportunity to invite you to Taraba State, the Nature's Gift to the Nation, for the 2025 Taraba State International Investment Summit called Taravest. The summit will bring together top stakeholders from government, businesses and global players to promote strategic investment opportunity in Taraba State. We welcome all Nigerians and investors from all over the world as we showcase the abundant investment opportunities our state, the Nature's Gift to humanity, has to offer.
Taravest is a global convergence of top international, government and private sector stakeholders for sustainable business partnership in Taraba State. Theme: Unlocking Taraba's investment potentials, advancing agriculture, energy, mining and industrialization for sustainable growth and development. Date: Wednesday, May 21, 2025 in Jalingo, Taraba State. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Taravest, showcasing Taraba, Africa's new investment frontier.
My name is Shailene Msiga. I am a Zimbabwean. The documentary's aim is to foster empathy for the homeless population.
Hello, my beautiful people. My name is Indy Maxine Weir, and I am the International Coordinator of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival. I am here to tell you so much about this film festival and how you can participate and benefit from this film festival. So talking about film festivals, I'm sure you've heard of the popular ones like the Toronto International Film Festival, the Berlin International Film Festival, and of course you have the Venice International Film Festivals, who have made impact, global impact over the years on the film industry. And much like these film festivals, the Taraba Human Rights Film Festival intends to make such an impact. But you know what? It is unique. It is talking about human rights, and that is the area we intend to impact using films. I mean, for our foreign participants, you have already sent your entries, over 1,000 of them from 100 countries all across the globe. We need you to come down to Taraba so that we can sit down together and go through them, go through our collective history, what has been, what is right now, and what should be. Together we can come up with the standard of what human rights should be in our different countries, using films to tell our stories and to give our recommendation, if you know what I mean. Being out here is so refreshing. It takes me to the second reason why you should be part of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival in person. Fun fact, you know that Taraba State is home to the Mambila Plateau, which is known for its beautiful scenery and cool weather? I can tell you this for free. I am looking forward to that. And that's not all. It is home to the Kashimbila Game Reserve, where there are different animals and you get to experience them. You gotta have that safari feel. And also, it doesn't stop there. There is the Pitako Hills. Very amazing rock formations, and you just see the beauty in it. You see, I don't even know, it makes you speechless. And then you go to building up to the Barup waterfalls. I mean, you've got me on that alone. It is going to be an amazing experience, and I think you should be here in person, especially to our foreign participants and impact. But you know what? It is unique. It is talking about human rights, and that is the area we intend to impact using themes. I mean, for our foreign participants, you have already sent your entries, over 1,000 of them from 100 countries all across the globe. We need you to come down to Taraba so that we can sit down together and go through them, go through our collective history, what has been, what is right now, and what should be. Together we can come up with the standard of what human rights should be in our different countries.
Welcome back. This is the morning show from the stables of Sam TV, beaming a signal from Jalingo, Northeast Nigeria. And we're going to look at the Taraba News, the stories that are on the cover page of Taraba News Weekender. One of the major stories that is on the Taraba News Weekender said Nigeria Environmental Society inaugurates Taraba State chapter. TSU MSc students launch campaign against exams malpractice. TSU MSc students launch campaign against exam malpractice. Another story that is on the cover page of the Taraba News Weekender has it that PDP chairman pledges party's commitment to the people. PDP chairman pledges party's commitment to the people. Still on the cover page of the Taraba News Weekender, Poblio to bring peace to the world. You find it on page 6 on the Taraba News Weekender. Another story that is on the cover page of the Taraba News Weekender has the Taraba judge denies involvement in land grabbing, threats to life. You can find these stories on the Taraba News Weekender. To get Taraba News Weekender is just for you to join the Taraba News WhatsApp group or go to any newsstand within Jalingo or within Taraba State. Ask for the Taraba News Weekender and you can go through it and get the stories. That is the news on the Taraba judge denies involvement in land grabbing, threat to life. You can find it on page 4. Still on page 4 of the Taraba News Weekender, you will find a story that said TSU VC Professor Bako honored with Northern Heroes Award. The VC Professor Bako, the digital professor, is honored with the Northern Heroes Award. Now, we'll take a look at some of the stories and some details. The Nigerian Environmental Society, NES Taraba State Chapter, has officially inaugurated its new leadership in a ceremony held in Jalingo, marking a renewed commitment to environmental sustainability and climate action in the states. The inauguration event drew attendance from key stakeholders, including government officials, government experts, civil society actors, and members of the society. That's talking about another part of the report said this inauguration and its accompanying initiatives underscores the growing dedication to environmental advocacy in Taraba State, with strong collaboration anticipated between NES, the state government, and the local communities. That report was filed by the Sun TV correspondent, Lillian Yakubu. Now, going further to the report on the TSU MSc students, I talk about the MSc students of Public Relations and Advertising in the Department of Mass Communication, Taraba State University, Jalingo, have organized a campaign aimed at combating examination malpractice as part of their master's program. The event, held on Thursday at the Aminu Suleiman Goro Hall in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, carried the theme "Start Right, Say No to Exam Malpractice." It served as a practical application of the course creative workshop in Public Relations and Advertising. It is a core requirement in the MSc program. The campaign offered the 2023/2024 MSc class an opportunity to design and execute a project addressing a real-life ethical issue within the academic community. Dr. Shedrack Idi, the course lecturer and postgraduate coordinator of the MSc Mass Communication program, said the initiative was designed to equip students with foundational knowledge in public relations. He emphasized the campaign's potential to shift student perspective and promote ethical behavior. They should take what they have learned to their communities and become agents of change, she added. That is on the story about students taking an advocacy move against examination malpractice. Now we're going to take this story before we draw the curtains on this edition of the Morning Show. I talk about Taraba judge denies involvement in land grabbing and threats to life. The Taraba State High Court Judge, Justice Ali Bappa, has distanced himself and family from alleged plans to grab plots of land and accusation that he coordinated attack against a Jalingo-based businessman and politician Alhaji Umaru Garba. Allah Hasuli. Justice Bappa made the denial on Thursday while speaking with journalists in his office, where he declared that there was no reason to send anybody to attack Alasuli, while also denied engaging in any direct land disputes with the businessman. The clarification was in response to allegation by Alasuli, where he accused the judge and his family of planning to grab his plot of land located close to Taraba State Deputy Governor's office in Jalingo, Taraba State capital. Denying the allegation, Bappa said he did not send anybody to attack Alasuli and did not possess any personal land at the location mentioned by the businessman. This report was called from the Leadership newspaper and appeared on the Taraba News Weekender. We now draw the curtains for this edition of the Morning Show. Yeah, we're now drawing the curtains for this edition of the Morning Show. Before we draw the curtains, I must appreciate the floor manager in the person of Dominion, who is popularly known as the planner, Shamaki and the King, who played a vital role in the floor management, Mr. Meshach Lazarus, who has been a very good support here this morning, and the glorious James Sata Emmanuel, the birthday boy, yesterday. We're still celebrating his birthday this morning, carried it over from yesterday. And appreciations to the executive producer, Chief Gabriel Olainka. Goodbye for now.
Child's rights are fundamental human rights, essential for promoting the well-being, dignity, and development of